Afternoon again, year four, last lesson of the day. We have RE as our second subject this afternoon. We're going to be reflecting on the five pillars of Islam to begin with, and then we're going to be exploring Muslim birth ceremonies and naming days. It's quite interesting, and you're also going to, at the end, maybe use a website to find your very own meaning of your name. So, just to begin, the skill we're working on is applying your learning to different contexts. Can you reflect on what the five pillars of Islam were called? Can you remember at least one or two? And with that, can you remember the meaning of any of them? If you can't, look back to the work you completed last week and freeze the slide here. I'm about to unveil the answers. So we had the Shahada, and that is that Allah is the only God. We had the Salat, praying 5 times a day. We had the Zakat, giving money to the poor. We had the Sawm, which was fasting for Ramadan. And we had the Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca. Okay, I do apologize for any pronunciation errors as well. If you want to look up the specific ways to say these words, please use Google Translate, as I'm not an expert in the field with the pronunciations. Okay, so have a think about these questions. Discuss with a sibling or parent if possible. So, what is your name and what does it mean? Think about whether you like your name and what you would like to be called. What would your dream name be? Where did your name come from? So for some of you, it may just be that parents or carers like that particular name. For some of you, it will have some sort of connotations with religion or culture. So it'll be really interesting to see the different answers that you get. How do parents decide what to name a baby? Is it just on choice, on preference? They like the sound of the name. Quite often it is. But quite often in religion, actually, when a baby is born, a birth ceremony or naming ceremony takes place. Parents take the time to decide on a great name for their child. Sometimes there is a religious link, and sometimes they're chosen for different reasons. We're going to be focusing on that religious link. So, when a new baby is born in a Muslim family, the father whispers a prayer in the baby's right ear. This prayer is called the Adhan. The Muslim father whispers, God is great. There is no God but Allah. Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Come to prayer. Why do you think, again, linking back to this birthing ceremony, why do you think Muslim people feed their babies sweet foods? You may want to research that in a bit more detail. Did your parents or carers tell you what your first food was? Maybe ask them. Was there a particular food that you loved having when you were a baby or you were a little bit younger? For me, it was always Farley's rusks. Absolutely loved them. Always had them with really hot milk, and I'd mush it all together, and it was like almost like Weetabix for a child. I loved them, loved them. So I'd probably still eat them now, actually, for breakfast if it was acceptable in some form. Another belief is that a baby's first taste should be something sweet, so he or she is fed a spoonful of honey or a juiced date. You may want to find out why exactly through your own research. The naming ceremony lasts for 7 days and is called Tasmiyah. The ceremony allows the new baby to be accepted and protected by Allah. Parents take requests for names from family members, and the name has to be given to the baby by the 7th day. To thank Allah for the new baby, a ceremony takes place on the 7th day, called a kika. The baby's hair is shaved and weighed. The weight of the hair is measured, and the same amount in gold is given to charity. 2 livestock from the family are sacrificed, and a huge feast is cooked. Everyone in the community shares the food and celebrates. So, a really, really lovely community feel, families are involved into that birthing ceremony. Muslims choose or must choose a name for their baby that has a strong meaning. This will bring blessings to that child throughout its life. Have a look at some of the Muslim baby names there. Can you distinguish which of these Muslim names are for boys and which of these Muslim names are for girls? I wonder if you could predict what any of those particular names mean. Maybe, again, conduct your own research into that. So, we've now divided it into the girls' and boys' names. And as you can see, some of the references here, we have the boy's name, Abbas, and that has connotations of a description of a lion. Ashif represents courage. And then we have Alia, which means noble, or Amal, hopes and wishes. So lots of beautiful or strong connotations, that strong religious name, which if we go back to, it allows the new baby to be accepted and protected by Allah and brings them blessings to the child throughout their life. So a bit of independent learning as well as those small little pieces of extra research if you want to. Can you write a definition for the Adhan, for the Tasmiyah, or the Akika? And perhaps bullet point the important facts about the naming ceremony. I'm going to go quickly back to that slide just so that you can pause them to help you. An example is that it lasts for 7 days. So here's one that you may want to pause about the particular prayer and the sweet foods to begin. There's lots of information here for you to use, so pause this again. And you may also want to use some examples of the names with the religious connotations. As a challenge X, how does the Muslim naming ceremony compare and differ to your family's or religion's naming ceremony or birthing ceremony? It might be something to do with being baptized, for example, in Christianity. I look forward to seeing your work and your research. Have fun and have a lovely afternoon. Bye-bye.